Hello to a new episode of ReptilTV. My intro animal, a diamond python, in this case called a whiteface. Diamond pythons are usually yellow and black. This whiteface is white and black. I don't know if it can or should be called axanthic, or if it is a color variant or simply a distribution variant that one might find in nature. I am actually at a loss. If perhaps someone among you has experience with this or knows from Australia and says no, this and that area has them with less yellow, has more white, then feel free to post it in the comments below. Beautiful snake, Morelia spilotes. Look, I'll wrap her around here. This diamond pattern, perhaps even better, even more beautiful. I really find her beautiful. It's not so easy to breed as a terrarium animal, so the other carpet python species, Morelia spilotes, are actually easier to breed than any variegata or pre-breeds. Much easier spilotes. You do get a bit of a bite when breeding spilotes, perhaps also because of the relatively harsh climate. So in winter there are relatively strong wind or temperature drops, or at night a relatively strong decrease in temperature. Maybe that's part of the reason why they are so difficult to breed. Yes, today my intro animal for you is a diamond python. Today's topic is the largest reptile meetings in the world. You know that I've traveled a lot and seen many things, and there are really great meetings, although it must be said that in 2001 they are usually sales events. I don't know why, but when I hold a purely informational event, significantly fewer people come. If I organize a reptile fair or reptile market where animals can be bought, I reach dimensions that are 5-digit, meaning I have a lot of visitors, which I unfortunately cannot achieve with an informational event. As a good example, we have the DGHT in Germany, one of the largest terrarium societies in the world, and there is an annual conference every year. But unfortunately, this conference only manages to attract a few hundred participants. So despite this, earlier times there were once around 6,000 members in the DGHT. It would be interesting. I need to research that. I will display it below. I will look up how many members it has, and still only a few hundred people attend the annual conference. So the DGHT annual conference does not rank among the top 5 largest reptile meetings in the world. At least one exception to the rule now is 5th place. Said normally these are sales events. 5th place is actually a meeting without a sales event. 1000 World Congress of Herpetology. This year, the 10th Congress took place. It only occurs every few years, so it is not an annual meeting, but rather every few years. It took place in Borneo this summer with approximately 1,500 visitors. That is certainly not groundbreaking, or there are certainly markets with more visitors that might have made it to 5th place. Nevertheless, I have placed the World Congress of Herpetology here in 5th place as the largest, or indeed the most important reptile event worldwide. The next Congress will take place, by the way, in Kenya in 2026, so in 2 years. I have never been to this Congress. I have firmly resolved to go in 2026 in Kenya. I will go there. Whoever of you is interested, we can meet, have a beer together, whatever. Yes, as I said, I think it's a great, interesting event. We can also summarize and display some pictures from their YouTube. A pure meeting where one exchanges ideas with workshops, lectures, and new insights in herpetology. 2001, great event. And in my ranking, 5th place. 4th place is the Verona Reptile Show. Verona in Italy is a bit, I would say, a kind of rising star. Although rising star, the show has also been around for over 15 years, probably around 20 years. It now takes place twice a year in May and October, always on a Sunday. Verona, Italy, so northern Italy, is really a great high-profile reptile meeting, Mom. We also made a ReptilTV episode about it. We can display a bit about it below. Great thing about it is the overall atmosphere. Italy is of course beautiful, the climate there. Spring and autumn is usually very nice weather. Then we have an open courtyard where you can also drink a bit of beer and have something to eat. So it really is a great atmosphere. The surroundings are really nice. I think when it comes to third and fourth place, was considering what to do at which place. I can imagine that in terms of sales, the third place that comes later will definitely have more animals and money involved, or is simply more about trading and socializing. This fourth place might actually have the edge. As I said, I was considering which of the two I would place where, as I said, the atmosphere itself is what's great about this fair. The organization is excellent. There is plenty of space, the halls are large, and the area itself is huge. Yes, a really great international reptile meeting. You should definitely go there. Verona Reptile Show. Definitely my fourth place, or definitely among the top 5 most important reptile events worldwide. In third place, another prestigious European event, the Terraria in Houten. It has developed, I would say, around 20 years ago. So it has been around for quite a long time. It takes place 4 times a year in Houten, 2001 in Holland. I used to go there often, many, many years ago, but in the last few years I haven't, just to avoid the stress of going there, or rather, for the sake of my animals. So I think it makes no sense for someone like me who offers animals to go to a different fair every month or every 2 months and take my animals around on, even if you take 2,000 different ones, but just for the stress of the animals, but for the stress for me, to be honest. In terms of visitors, we are now reaching spheres where the numbers are in the 5-digit range. So I think they already have around or about the visitors. There are no exact numbers for that. The organizers always keep the exact numbers somewhat under the rug. But when you consider the people, or at least in the high 4-digit range, then that's already a lot of terrarium enthusiasts. And that's why it ranks third. For second place, we have to go across the big pond to the USA. The USA, largest terrarium nation in the world, I would say, with the most terrarium enthusiasts. At least once a year, annually, there is this show, which is organized by the North American Reptile Breeder Association. They hold a reptile show 4 times a year, and once a year it takes place in Chicago, specifically in Tinley Park. It's called the Tinley Show, colloquially, or the Chicago Reptile Show. I filmed it for you last year when I was there. We can show you a few impressions. It lasts for 2 days, unlike the European fairs, which are always just 1 day. In the USA, they even do it over 2 days, which is prohibited for us. There, it's certainly allowed for visitor numbers in the 5-digit range. So there will definitely be significantly more people walking around the fair over those 2 days. And that's why it lands in second place for me among the largest reptile meetings in the world. And the big drum roll, who will land in first place? I think most of you will say it's obvious, right? Or I can think it, or I know it. I assert that the Terraristika Hamm is still the largest event in the world. Since 2001, it has been held 4 times a year in recent years, but now it is 3 times a year. The spring Terraristika no longer exists this year, and probably won't next year either. So it is only 3 times a year. I don't find that bad at all. I'm fine with having to go to Hamm 3 times a year. In terms of visitors, I believe we have more visitors at each fair than in 2001. There are no official figures for that either. Those are also business secrets of the event. But I definitely think we're moving up to between visitors, maybe with some extreme visits like the summer fair, for example, or the Christmas fair is always quite well attended. We might be above. In terms of area with the tents and so on, it's also a huge space. I don't know how many square meters there are. I believe there are no official figures for that either. Yes, that's why. Indeed, however, it is still the case that terrorists have the largest terrarium reptile meeting in our beautiful Germany. Certainly worth a trip. If you haven't been there yet, you will probably be amazed at how things are going on there and how it is inside. You also have to see that it officially opens at 10 o'clock and everything is over by 4 o'clock. So in those 6 hours, as mentioned, people crowd through the halls and look at what great terrarium animals there are, or what I might still need, or what I might want to sell, trade, or whatever. Yes, the largest reptile meeting in the world, Terraristika Hamm, those were my top 5. As mentioned, the numbers cannot be verified. There are no official statistics. This is the largest, or rather, the Herpetology World Congress, with only 1,500 people. It probably doesn't rank 5th in terms of numbers. I have simply considered the importance and this international atmosphere as a plus point. The National Reptile Breeder Expo in Daytona was also very close to making it into the top 5. 20 or 25 years ago, when I started, it was certainly the most significant and largest event of its kind in the world. However, it has declined or stagnated in recent years. For this reason, it may not have quite made it into the top 5. As I said, I look forward to your comments. Post down below about, yes, Stefan, you completely forgot that, or you completely misjudged that, or it must be completely different. I look forward to your feedback. Thumbs up if you liked it. And a hello at the next event where we might see each other. And otherwise, stay loyal to me. And yes, as I said, until next time, until the next terrarium meeting, look forward to seeing you.